Fortnite has countless characters as part of its metaverse, but Jonesy has been here since day one. Now his days are numbered. Jones was our last connection to the game we all fell in love with, so now we honor him by telling his story because it helps with what happens next. The very first appearance of Jonesy was the new players gliding onto OG Island. Turns out this was a blessing in disguise, with everyone from veterans to noobs instantly recognizing his face. He would slowly become the unofficial mascot of Fortnite, and Epic was realizing this, turning him from an outfit into a fully fledged character. This was happening in the background with nobody realizing. It would see more and more versions of Jonesy, from Mission Specialist to Rex and Rabbit Raider. He was everywhere, and it wouldn't be long before the secret backstory would start to unfold. It all kick-started when we were introduced to someone who felt strangely important, a conspiracy theorist who was originally ignored by people and brushed off as a joke. This was Bunker Jonesy, and while most of his theories were ridiculous, like talking about Bigfoot, some of them felt oddly accurate. Didn't seem like your average Jones. He was the one that stood out amongst the rest, slowly creating a warning for everyone on the island. Visions came to him as he panicked about a huge monster coming. This would turn out to be true, transforming him from a nutjob that no one paid attention to into a man who could see the future. There was a secret reason for this, one that wouldn't be revealed until the story was fully explained. And so everything I've told you until now has been caused by one man, someone who nobody knew about until the device event. It was time to meet Agent Jones.
Wait. Can you hear me? Hear me?
This took everyone by surprise. Not only was this Jonesy unlike anyone we'd seen before, he could speak. It felt like a total mystery, as he spoke of things like the loop and had an understanding of a story we were only just learning about. Little did we know his existence was here to explain everything. This wasn't a version of Jonesy, he was Jonesy. The others I mentioned earlier, it was him in various disguises, as he tried to blend in when visiting the island. We would later find pictures on his office wall showing this. Jones in an astronaut suit, dressed as a rabbit, and in his wardrobe, there was Rex's costume. Every time he entered the island, the loop would create a clone of him, one that was stuck in time, or a snapshot. As for why we could hear him speak, Agent Jones himself wasn't in the loop, we were. You can't talk while trapped inside, and he was the one responsible for all this, working for its creators, the Imagined Order. The secret organization was quickly becoming the villain of our storyline, and despite Jones being the face of it, something about him felt comforting. He didn't act like a villain, he seemed like in the end he would make the right decisions, and our suspicions were about to grow larger. We didn't see Agent Jones for months after his first appearance, leading fans to be extremely confused. Instead, we were distracted by larger threats like Galactus, and yet at the very end, with the 0 point exposed, it was time for an unexpected cameo. With the 0 point exposed, Jones is the man who had to save us, or so we thought. While his mission seemed noble at the time, he was diving in to prevent people from escaping the loop. While it was exposed, anyone could return to their homeworld, so he spent months searching the universe for bounty hunters. They would come to the island, cause chaos, and prevent islanders from escaping the loop. And yet Jones was having doubts about this mission. While the 0 point was out in the open, it was unstable, and the effects could cause reality to break down. Instead of fixing it, the IO cared more about keeping people in their prison. Like it was the company Jonesy spent his life working for. They don't actually care about saving the universe. It was all a lie.
Reality log doesn't even matter. What's the point of recording these logs if you're not gonna listen? We've lost control of the 0 point. Do you get what that means? You must not, because you're doing nothing. I've dedicated my life to the Order. I've given everything. And for what? To just sit back and watch reality end? That's not who we are. At least it's not who I am. Not anymore.
At this moment, Jones decides to take action himself. If he doesn't call for help, there is no hope of saving reality. Here's where the Imagined Order notices he's becoming a threat to their plan and remove his access, so naturally, he breaks into the restricted section.
This is Agent Jones requesting access to restricted file 8752. Oh, really? No time to stabilize reality, but plenty of time to revoke my credentials. This is Agent Jones requesting access to all materials related to the 7. Oh, great! Okay, if you're not gonna give me what I need, I'm just gonna have to take it.
With these files, Jones now has the ability to call for help and officially make his decision. He's gonna save everyone and defect from the Imagined Order.
The 0 point exploding! We've lost control! Save yourself!
If I don't stop this, it could destroy all existence.
You have your orders, now get out of there!
I'm gonna do what we should have done from the very start. I'm going to the 7th.
You took an oath! You're betraying everything we stood for you!
It's time to run to the 0 point, past the dozens of bounty hunters he just spent months recruiting, and now, using his trusty portal gun, he can set the coordinates to a reality with an extremely important purpose.
Come on, come on. Unbelievable. It actually worked. Look, I know you have no reason to trust me, but... Oh no. Hang on, let's talk! Let's talk! Geno! I can get you to Geno.
And the sisters?
I can get you all of them. But I need your help to fix that.
You have a deal. For now.
Oh, that's very reassuring.
Time to get to work.
Promising to give the location of the IO's founder, Geno, he makes a deal with the Foundation. He's someone who's been working to destroy the loop for years, and now Jones's betrayal of his old company was complete. All that mattered was stabilizing the 0 point and saving reality. Now, that's exactly what he rushed to do, seeing it blossom like a flower and realizing it was too late. But the Foundation had one last plan, and it involved Jones's portal gun.
You need to seal off the 0 point and overload the device.
Overload the device! I'll be trapped in the loop! Here we go!
Yeah, they did it. The blast was contained and the 0 point could now heal, but it was all a part of a massive sacrifice from the two. Jones was now trapped in the loop, unable to speak or remember where he was, and that wouldn't be all. While he was trapped, loopers are breaking into the IO's headquarters in an attempt to get home. As they fought their way through the bridge, they noticed something that sent waves across the storyline. Unmasking the IO guards, it was a familiar face, Jones. Now this obviously wasn't the one we know and love, as we go on to discover. It turned out the IO was recruiting Jones's snapshots from the loop who were good at fighting, getting the best of both worlds. This let them use the original as a field agent, and his snapshots could be endless to form a huge army. Yet their toying with Jones wasn't done. His boss, Dr. Sloan, decided to ignore the constant threats of the 0 point out of anger, instead choosing to take revenge on him for his betrayal.
All imagined order personnel to escape craft.
Wake him up. You just had to be the hero, Jones. You know what happens to heroes?
They, live to fight another day?
Not this time. Do it.
No, don't do it, don't do it!
This isn't personal, Jones. Although I do plan to enjoy it.
Luckily, Jones's deal with the Foundation will be the decision that saves his life.
Impossible. I watched you die.
I got over it.
You came back for me.
You promised me Geno.
Well, love you too, buddy.
So as Jones follows along, he realizes the Seven have a plan. They're gonna flip the island and cripple the IO. They prepare to strike them in an ambush that'll destroy the loop for good. Except before they can complete the final step,
Well, what about that?
You ready to swim?
the Cube Queen was defeated. But their inability to finish the plan has left the Seven weak. Their location on the other side of the island was now exposed, leaving them open to a counterattack, and that's exactly why they needed Jones. He was prepared to help them fight the IO by any means necessary, giving them insight into battle plans and ways to defend themselves from the Order. Once Sloan and Geno's army launched their counterattack, the Seven were prepared, forming the Resistance. Jones spent months helping people fight against tyranny, controlling the front lines, and preparing for the Seven's final attack. As they spent their resources tracking down the mech that defeated the monster all those years ago, Jones was putting together a ground team. He would attack the IO shields, allowing the mech an opening to attack the IO's doomsday device once and for all. It was now time for collision.
Ground team, status.
Ground team standing by. We'll have those shields down by the time you reach the island. After all, they do call me the Legend.
Copy that.
After the mech was able to reach the collider in time, Jones was already on the ground, leading the loopers through the battle.
Anybody hurt? Come on your feet, let's go. I don't think Sloane's too happy we're here.
I see, Jones.
And she has a tank, so we gotta go.
As they rushed to destroy it, there is one obstacle left: Jones's boss and lifelong friend, Dr. Sloan.
Sloane, you don't have to do this.
Always so dramatic. Any last words, Jones?
Look out.
With Sloan incapacitated, there was nothing between Jones and total victory. Asking the others to take care of destroying the doomsday device, he decided to keep his promise to the Foundation, leading him right to Geno.
The 0 point is focused on Geno. This is our best chance to find him.
Let's go.
What we didn't expect was for Geno to already be defeated. As the duo landed in the 0 point, they noticed him holding his daughter, the Imagined. She had already sent Geno to his doom by throwing him into the unstable orb. The work was done. All they had to do was watch him disintegrate, and that was it. Jones's entire identity had been reforged. He was no longer a pawn for the Imagined Order. He was a hero. Not only did he save reality, but he was now part of a noble team, the Seven. It was a long time coming for Jones, who has lived a tough life to get to this moment. When he spoke to his teammates, he revealed the tragic backstory that explains everything. Jones is actually hundreds of years old, taking full advantage of the Imagined Order's benefits. After going through the remains of his old office, he found a picture of his wife and kids. Overcome with sadness, he decided to join the IO that separated him from them. As a field agent, he was forced to live on the island, but in return, he would become immortal. Only problem, Jones didn't want his family involved in the violent nature of the loop, so he left them behind. He asked the IO to protect them on their dangerous homeworld. And while the Order did protect them, they weren't given immortality, and Jones had to live the rest of his life long after they were gone. He'd admit that he had to watch his wife and children grow old and die. Eventually, he decided he wanted to grow old too and live the rest of his days with his grandchildren. Well, the only thing is, Dr. Sloan realized just how useful Jones was to the Order. She reminded him that if he left, the IO would stop protecting his family, and considering how dangerous their home was, it was unacceptable. So he stayed to protect future generations that he never even met. Everything he did was for a family who didn't even know him. Instead of living in regret, Jones decides to spend the rest of his time helping people. Now that the Imagined Order are gone, he could spend his days focusing on protecting the island. Usually, he'd have the Seven at his side, helping him achieve this goal, until a huge threat changed everything.
We've already lost so much of the island to that crone.
That's not surprising given the sample's behavior. I've never seen such accelerated psychokinesis. Whoa! I'm starting to think this may be a problem.
Get out of here! That's an order!
The Seven are consumed by Chrome, leaving Jones stranded and unsure what to do. He helps Islanders evacuate and works closely with Amy, the scientist's assistant, to contact Paradigm. Thankfully, she has a plan, and all Jones has to do is wait, not realizing the Paradigm was about to put everything on the line to defeat the Herald. As the 0 point pulled everything back together, forming a new island, Jones got a reality check. All of his friends were now gone. His family, total strangers, and there's only one person left Jones could talk to. It's someone he spent centuries working under, a woman who has yet to be redeemed, Dr. Sloan. Discovering that she escaped the tank wreckage and was investigating the new island, Jones decides to trust her for now. She explains her mysterious plan to him, asking Jones to help her for the good of the island. Now that the loop is destroyed and the IO is a thing of the past, Sloan wanted to continue her mission of protecting the 0 point, this time actually making a difference. And from what she has analyzed, there's an incoming threat that she is terrified of. A time traveler who works as a collector by day and a blood-sucking vampire at night, a man known as Cato Thorne has made his way to the island. But Sloan needs Jones to stage a heist. They decide to break into Cato's mansion and steal his most prized possession, the time machine, with one destination, teleporting everyone back to 2018. Returning to an island where his only memories were working for the Imagined Order, Jones decides to get out as quickly as possible. Sloan asks him for one last favor: attach the time machine to the Seven's rocket and change the timeline. Here is our new beginning with the Big Bang. Now, Jones's role has been downgraded. Instead of being a legendary member of the Seven who was defeating otherworldly threats, he was comfortable being a ground soldier, protecting the island from itself. He teams up with a woman named Hope, the leader of an organization known as the Underground. It's here where he gets the attention of Valeria, Hope's sister. She knows all about Jones's history with the IO and decides to extract information on him, hoping to learn the location of an artifact known as Pandora's Box. So, she kidnaps his best friend Peely, leaving a ransom note as she promises to return him if Jones gives up the location of the box. Just the only problem here is Jones has no idea what she's talking about. Instead, he works with Hope to take Peely back by force. After all, Hope is in a rivalry with Valeria. She wants to destroy her group and stop her from opening this mysterious artifact. They break into the Society's headquarters, planning a huge rescue mission as they escape with Peely and leave the group crippled. Jones thinks he's won. They can go back to simply protecting things, except that is when Valeria figures it out. She exposes Pandora's box and unleashes its creator onto the island. Great news for Agent Jones. He now has otherworldly threats to deal with again. Except sadly, he has no Seven to help him, only Hope and a mysterious character known as the Oracle. He does everything he can to help his partner come up with a strategy. They go around recruiting Greek gods to take down Zeus, who wants to destroy the island and eliminate all mortals for disobeying his orders. Pandora's box was never meant to be opened, and this would be their punishment. At this point, Jones was starting to be pushed into a smaller role in the storyline. We didn't see much of him with Hope leading the plan, especially when the box revealed another problem, Megalodon. This battle now started to feel like the beginning of something new, a different direction in Jones's story that seemed like the end. So as he worked with Hope to plot Don's defeat, he turned from the determined hero we've always known into an ignorant and tired soldier.
I just dethroned the King of Olympus. I think I've earned some downtime.
First of all, we dethroned the King of Olympus. Second, no. I've been watching Megalodon. I don't like what I see.
I don't care.
Hope used to be able to rely on Jones. Now she's worried about him, and we are too. And this was just the start of a total 180 in his behavior. When Megalodon's plan failed, it wasn't because of Jones and Hope. It was the sabotage of the true villain of Chapter 5, Dr. Doom. This transfer of power also marked a change in our protagonist, with Jones slowly passing the mantle to Hope. He's found someone more dedicated than him. After all, Jones no longer has immortality from the Imagined Order. He is aging for the first time in centuries, and it's getting to him. After spending so long fighting, he's getting tired, and his dialogue this season continues to prove that. He talks to Hope in a strange way, acting like he won't be around much longer.
Today I took a wrong and said it right. That felt good.
Look at you, accepting the hero's mantle.
Okay, Don't be weird.
He even says you always expect one of these to be your last. In order to stand up to Doom, Jones uses previous contacts to get in touch with Steve Rogers, allowing him to get his shield and armor. But now, an upcoming loading screen has revealed a terrifying possibility, showing Hope with the shield instead. Jones has spent the past few months mentoring Hope, and recently, the Oracle, who can see the future, has dropped a bombshell, mentioning that the key to defeating Doom will be victory hidden in defeat. Will we save the island from Victor, but sacrifice Jones to do it? Hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.